Welcome to the Rue Speaks podcast. My name is Jakara. I am 30, almost 31 years old, like in literally a day, not a day, like a few days. And I live at home with my parents, and I'm single. So that means my life is chaotic, exciting, and filled with adventures. And every day I just feel like I'm trying to figure out and get one step closer to what is the meaning of life. Because I don't know. um, but that means that I'm living my life, and sometimes I do it for the plot, and sometimes I'm just doing it to learn things. So, yeah, I thought, why not have a podcast and kind of bring you guys into the crazy life that is me and talk to fellow people along the way. So, yeah, like I said, I am turning 31 in a few days. Yes, your girl is a Sagittarius. Sagittarius season is upon us. And honestly, I just can't believe that I am turning 31. Because when I tell you, my 30s are nothing like I thought it would be. Okay, let me paint a picture for you of what I thought my 30s would be like, okay? I thought I would be married, have kids, and be working towards my second Oscar campaign. None of that. None of that has happened. How I started off my 30s, specifically last year, was actually quite interesting and quite the opposite of what I thought. So every year, for everybody's birthday, my family, we go out to eat. In November, there are three of us, okay? It starts off, well, okay, let's talk about October. October 28th is one of my brother's birthdays. And then you go into November. November 16th is my younger brother's birthday. Then I'm the 26th, 10 days later. And then 3 days later is my older sister's birthday. So, birthday celebrations sometimes get lumped together. Last year, I had decided that I wanted to go out to eat, and then I thought we were going to do cake and ice cream afterwards. Had I known that we were going to do cake and ice cream afterwards, I probably wouldn't have had the dessert that came with the table, because I wanted to be able to do the cake and ice cream where everybody gathers, sings happy birthday, and I get to basically have like a good amount of cake. Like, is that so wrong? That has literally been my family tradition for so long. And then somebody decided, I don't know who decided over the years, maybe life got busy, and then, they didn't want to go out to dinner anymore. And it was just like, we'll meet up for cake and ice cream. No. Then, when I had asked about my birthday, about everybody getting together, another thing, wait, let me preface this. My birthday sometimes falls on Thanksgiving. Okay, so imagine being a kid that your birthday falls on Thanksgiving. So that means usually your friends can't hang out with you because they're going to be with their family. As you get older, people go out of town, people go home, people who aren't from Los Angeles go back to spend time with their families. Things aren't as poppin' because your birthday is literally on Thanksgiving. So literally since I was born, which I was born on Thanksgiving, I already don't have like huge celebrations on my birthday. People aren't always available. Okay, so this family tradition of going out to eat, you get to choose where you want to go and then have cake and ice cream, has been a staple for me. Okay, I may suck at routines, but this is the one piece of stability that I stand by in my life. Okay, is a family getting together and having birthday and Christmas lists. Send out to the family, everybody knows, which I have no idea what I want for my birthday. I probably should figure that out before I send that. Anyways, so last year I wanted to go to Lazy Dog, really great restaurant. And then we're at dinner. Out of nowhere, I start having a panic attack. I don't know why. I'm having a panic attack. And as they're about to bring like cake and ice cream, or maybe they brought the cake and ice cream out, I am tears. And I don't understand why. And literally the last time this happened was when my parents went to go drop me off at San Jose State. We went to a Denny's and I started full on crying and panicking because it was the first time I was going to be away from everything that I know, 8 hours away at a new school with no one that I knew. Literally panic attack in the bathroom. Okay, so this was the exact same thing that happened. Full blown freaking panic attack. Okay. I am crying at the table and I don't know why. Maybe it's the existential, how do you say, existential crisis of turning 30. And I have no idea what I fully want to do with my life. Again, this was last year. So that doesn't help. Then we start talking about, okay, my sister's birthday's 3 days later. Okay, so we're going to do cake and ice cream then. And I'm like, no, isn't everybody coming to do cake and ice cream afterwards? Now, I was planning to go out with friends the night before. So I didn't want to go out the night before the 29th, like after go out with friends, hungover as can be, because I was planning to go clubbing. You know, I was going to be with my friends. That means that I would have had to, after a night of debauchery, have to kick my friends out in the morning or like halfway through the day, recover from a hangover, and then meet up with my family for cake and ice cream. Like literally I was going to have to drive from Pasadena to West Covina. That does not sound like something exciting, okay? I wanted to be able to wake up, have my Starbucks, recover in bed peacefully to myself, okay? But no, it was supposed to be a joint birthday cake thing, and I didn't like that. Actually, no, it wasn't even supposed to be a joint birthday cake. It was, well, you had your little thing here. We're not doing the cake and ice cream at the house. We're not doing that for you, Jakara. And I said, since when? Like, and it turns into this whole fight. If you know my family, you know me, like literally it was a fight with my mother and my sister, and they're ganging up on me. And if you guys are listening, do not come at me because you guys know what you did, okay? And it sucked. So I'm crying at the table. I literally storm off from the table. And I was like, I'm not dealing with this. So they're like fixing. And on top of that, like, nobody said, you know, happy birthday. Nobody like said goodbye, gave me a card, absolutely nothing. Everybody just like went their own way. So I'm like crying. And literally my little brother is the only one who texts me and says, hey, it shouldn't have gone down like that on your birthday. Like, thank you. It should not have gone down like that on my birthday. Imagine bringing in a new decade of your life and you're crying, and not a good kind of cry. So that happens. But it was like all good. I go home, you know, I play Call of Duty with the guy I was like in a situation with at the time. I play Call of Duty. We're not together in the same space. We're literally playing online Call of Duty. But it was nice because then when midnight hit, at least somebody told me happy birthday. Okay? At least in that moment, I felt loved. I felt loved. Okay? Did he ask to actually see me on my birthday? Definitely not. But that's like a whole different story. So after that, I had 2 friends, and the goal was to go clubbing. I had no idea what I wanted to fully do. They did. They came over. We ordered pizza, had tequila, got into talks, deep talks about life. And I'm like, this is great. They're helping me getting ready. They're helping me get ready. I am like on a good vibe. I'm like, I'm about to go out clubbing. It's going to be the best night. And it was the best night. Okay. I literally got complimented everywhere I went in WeHo. Okay. And if you know you are getting compliments in WeHo, then you know you are doing something right. Okay. I felt amazing. I had a great time. I am turned. Okay. And the thing is, like, I was wearing this really cute pink dress that I wear a lot. I have to find actually a new pink dress. It was a pink dress from Zara. Super cute. I always feel like a Barbie when I wear it. I was wearing these black heels that when I wear the black heels, I can literally run in them. They're the only heels that I can run in. Platform heels, high block heel. That's the only way I can wear heels these days. Call me grandma if you want. And I felt so cute. I felt great. I had eaten pizza, and this, you know, I had never had the Domino's deep dish style pizza. Okay, that style tasted like BJ's and changed my life. Okay, so we go out, we have an amazing time. Coincidentally, there was this guy on the app that we'd matched on Hinge, but he just was not my type. And so we go to Rocco's, which is a club bar in WeHo, and he's there by himself, and we look at each other, and I'm like, he looks familiar. He's like, you look familiar. And we're like, oh, a dating app. And so I was like, oh, who'd you come with? And he's like, I came by myself. And I was like, that's a little suspect. I don't know. It's just, I personally, maybe because I'm a woman, like the idea of going to a club by yourself is just weird to me. Specifically, this man going to Rocco's by himself. Didn't make sense. Anyways, whatever. But we are going from club to club. They are playing some really good music. I'm talking, they're playing throwbacks, all right? 50 Cent, It's Hot in Here, okay? Britney, all of the classics are being played, and I'm having such a great time. I am dancing. I'm like, this is 30, right? Now, let me remind you, I was wearing a cute little pink dress. I did not bring a purse. I didn't bring like a purse that was big enough to, I don't know. I didn't bring a purse that was big enough to hold my phone. So I asked the person, one of the two people that I had gone with, to hold my phone for me, right? So they put it in their pocket, and I'm having a grand old time. I'm drinking the tequila. I'm dancing to all of the Britney. I am loving 30, okay? Then we get in the Uber, and I'm like, hey, Blink, can I have my phone back? And that person's like, sure. And guess what? My phone was gone. Yeah. Somehow stolen out of this person's pocket. My phone is gone. Okay, my phone. So I am panicking because I had such a great time, and I'm like, I'm out and about, and my phone is gone. So that means I need a new phone. Yes, I understand that it's a first world problem. Okay, but that's how I brought in 30. So I am looking, and they turn off, so I can't find it on Find My Phone. None of that. Like, it's literally just gone. I'm freaking out because, like, work-wise, I need it. So I'm, like, messaging people. I, like, called my dad. I told him all of that. I'm like, whatever. So I guess I'm going to have to get a new phone. Again, first world problem. But the fact that my phone is gone. So I spent it at that night on the phone with my situationship, just be like, hey, because I'd been texting him because I was hoping that something would happen between us on my birthday, okay? And so I was like, hey, did you get any like weird messages or anything? Because I'm like, what? Like, are my nudes gonna get leaked? Who knows? Do I even have nudes on my phone? I'm not sure. But I'm like, my passwords, everything. And then I'm talking to my friend Justin, who's literally in Thailand. And I'm like FaceTiming him because that's the only way we can communicate. Thankfully, I have a Mac, so I was able to do that. But yeah, my phone is gone. It's gone. So then I have to go. Now, I didn't plan to go to my sister's cake thing because my friends were going to be here. Like, I had told her in advance. Like, it was going to be fine. Copacetic, all right? Plus, I was still kind of mad at my family. Didn't want to go. Then I have to go because then my dad is like, hey, so we're going to go to the T-Mobile store to get you like a new phone, like the insurance policy. So then I'm like forced to see my family after their efforts, after their actions the days before of literally making me cry on my birthday. But I said, whatever. So next morning, I was like, I'm going to get a new phone. Turns everything off. You know, me and those people we go get Starbucks. We watch the new Wednesday Addams that I just dropped. They hadn't seen it fully. We watched it. And it was just a chill time. And then eventually, you know, I had to drive extremely hungover, which we walked to the Starbucks, which is right near my apartment complex. And when I tell you, I could not do it. I could not. That's how hungover I was. Okay, listen. Again, it was a good birthday until my phone got stolen. Okay, so drinks were flowing. So I am hurting the next day. So I have to literally drive. And again, I don't have a GPS. That's another thing. I don't have a GPS, so I had to follow my friends home. I literally, just to get back to my apartment, because I always use my GPS, and that's what I was set on, my dad printed out MapQuest instructions, okay? Listen, I'm not good at maps. I'm so not good at maps, but I had to literally, yes, again, first world. I had to drive home with the MapQuest instructions, and if you go wrong way, like you have to hope. Okay, because I, again, don't have a phone. And because I wasn't going to be able to have the phone that I wanted, it wasn't going to be for like 4 days. So that means I had to rely on MapQuest if I didn't know how to get to where I needed to get to. So I go to my sister's birthday party. I'm hungover. as can be. But it's a chill time. Eventually I get my phone back. So that is how 30 started off for me. Okay. Then a few days later, something like super exciting, because I have a TikTok where I was like posting content. I still post content, and like I do pop culture. And I posted this video a while ago about Issa Rae, just being like, every time she does something, she is amazing. Like, have you seen Via Rae, by the way? Top tier Prosecco. All of these businesses that Issa Rae does just like always take off. So I just like made a post about that. And then suddenly, again, I don't have a phone, but I'm on TikTok on my computer, and I am being blown up, and people are tagging me in things, and they're saying, sis, she duetted you, she duetted you, she duetted you. And I was like, what is that? Like, what is that? Being the millennial that I am, being the old person nowadays, now that I'm 30. And I go and look, and Issa herself, my idol, who I literally have put on a vision board before, would die to work with, had made a response to me basically saying like she always looks amazing. So it's her with her makeup and hair in person, just like making a video response to my TikTok. I was like, are you kidding me? Issa Rae literally knows who I am. This is amazing. I'm about to take off. Like, wow, I'm 1 million followers. Here I come. Okay. Development television deal. Here I come. Subsequently, at the time, I was working at a really horrible, shitty place that I was dealing with microaggressions, and, you know, they just tried it one last time. So I was like, I'm going to quit my job. And I was like, I'm going to quit my job. It's going to be fine. No backup plan, no content plan, nothing. Quit my job. And now here we are today. Okay. All right. She is currently, well, I don't want to say unemployed because I have been doing like content creation and kind of been getting paid through that. But kind of like I am turning 31 and I am unemployed. Yes. So another thing. It is crazy that when you are in your 30s, well, I guess in women it starts in your 20s, but especially when you are in your 30s, people start to ask you, when are you going to get married? When are you going to have kids? I'm sorry. I still see myself as a teenager. Okay. I'm like, what, a teen pregnancy? Like, it's like that Broad City quote, like, what am I, a child bride? Like, but it's like I have to start thinking about these things, which is insane. Now, my sister had a baby. Okay. He just turned 1. And during my unemployed, well, I'm still unemployed, but during my days, so I babysat him for like 3 months. And when I babysat him, he was like 3 or 4 months old. Okay. And when I tell you, I love my nephew so much, but that is literally the perfect form of birth control, because I'm like, do you guys know what goes into having a child? Do you know? Like, I fed that baby. Okay, I changed him. I put him to sleep. My favorite part was when he would wake up from a nap, and how I knew he was awake, he would go, ah, with this like cute little gummy smile. Now, let me tell you how he is, okay? I'm like, hey, hi, Markel. Hi, little Markel. Hello. And he's like, no. Okay, like he literally hits me, and he doesn't want me to hold him, and he literally wants nothing to do with me. He says everybody else's name except for me. Every time I'm like, say Titi, and he like shakes his head and like swats me away. And they have to say, Markel, be nice to your Titi. Like, they say that, okay? So yeah, I have seen my sister be a mom, and she's exhausted, okay? I feel like all moms are exhausted. You know, my sister, I'm gonna like put her business out there. My sister was in a relationship, I think like 6 months later, however, they were engaged. Then there was a marriage, and she was like pregnant after the honeymoon, like pretty quickly, okay? So she went from getting engaged, celebrating that, getting married, celebrating that, and then having a baby and celebrating that, to like real life hitting. And you know what? Also, she was kind of like a little bridezilla. So that exhaustion Jessica, my sister, you kind of deserve it, but I love you. But I love you. All of that to say that when you turn 30, the expectations change. And I am not one to go with what people expect me to do. Actually, usually I do the opposite because I'm a rebel and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't need to do that. I don't need to listen to you. I'm going to go my own path. But I just never thought that I would move home in my 30s. I just never thought that I would be back in my like childhood bedroom dealing with the things that I was dealing with in high school now as an adult. I'm talking boys. I'm talking my mother. I'm talking what am I going to do with my life? Like I just feel like I reverted back to a child. Speaking of reverted back, there has been some news. Okay, listen. I posted on my TikTok that I am not here for the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce. I don't know. Like, I'm not here for the relationship because, okay, let me revert. I'm not here for all of the Swifties saying this is her marriage. She's going to get married. Like, this is it. Like, everybody having such a crazy opinion on this relationship that hasn't even been there long, speculating on when she's going to get married and have a child. Like, she literally just got out of a relationship with Joe that she was in a relationship for 7 years. But everybody is like, well, she's 33 now, so that means she's going to find the one. What if she doesn't find the one? What if, I don't know. What if Taylor Swift doesn't even want to get married? Like, what if some people, you know, maybe she doesn't have kids. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe she tried to have kids and we don't know. We don't know. Like, we don't know her story. And that's all I was trying to say in the TikTok, along with the fact that there's speculation that she did this because her friend Sophie Turner was dealing with the custody hearing and custody information with Joe Jonas. And she, you know, kind of, it was like a PR move because there are PR couples in Hollywood. Hello. And everybody just like came at me and they're like, you're bitter and that's why you're single. And I was like, first of all, who told you I was single? Because when I post relationship content, I post it on my Instagram and I post that on my TikTok burner account. So if you want to see that, follow me on Instagram because I talk about it. But I was just like, we need to stop putting pressure on women to settle down and get married and have kids because then it's just going to be people settling. And because I refuse to settle and I don't have unrealistic expectations because I don't refuse to settle, I'm not just going to have a baby tomorrow or get married tomorrow. I would love that though. I would love to like get married, not have a baby, but like, I don't know, be like in a functioning, healthy relationship because I feel like I have done the work on myself. But that's, you know, neither here nor there. Instead, I am just dealing with the F-boys of the century. And another thing that I feel like people don't take into account about dating in your 30s is these men. These men, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. You men in your 30s and above, you have no idea what you want. And you lie, okay? You say, yeah, I'm looking for a relationship. Yeah, I want to head down that route. But you know, deep down, you are lying. That is not what you want. You are always looking for the next option. Specifically, black men. And I hate that because I want to be able to date within my race, but man, it is hard. There is so much trauma that is not being addressed, but that's a different episode. Like for instance, actually, you know what? For instance, I have to like expand upon this, but I went on this date, like the last real date aside from the person that people that I'm talking to. I went on this insane date with this guy that I'm pretty sure is a serial killer. Have they caught the serial killer in LA? Because if his name comes out, I will not be surprised. Okay? Black man in his 40s, seems to be successful, huge mommy issues, and is a Virgo. Okay? Just the fact that he has mommy issues and is a Virgo just shows right there that he is a serial killer. When I tell you that was the most uncomfortable date that I have ever been on, it was the most uncomfortable date that I have ever been on. I'll have to expand upon that. But I'm like, if that is my options at 30, like, take me out of the dating game. Take me out, because it's just not worth it. It's not worth it dating in my 30s. What else has happened since I have turned 30? Like I said, I quit my job. That was a whole thing. Oh, so the friends I told you about that my birthday, not friends with them anymore. Mainly the person who was holding on to my phone. Went on a trip, and after that I was just like, yeah, this isn't really I don't like you, and you don't like me, and listen, if we fight right now, I don't want to go to jail. So left that trip and kind of just left without friends. So not only am I turning 31, unemployed, friendless, single, and I live at home with my parents. That is my life. So yeah, I've just been kind of like really entrenched in pop culture topics lately. Like, you guys know Cassie and Puff. That whole thing, I just found out today that they settled within one day, and there's like a lot of controversy, and I just feel like we saw that. We saw Cassie as someone who was dating Puff, whatever his name. I don't P. Diddy, like, what is his name now? Society also took her situation and was like, well, in her 20s, like, you don't want a kid, you just like gave that up, and like, then she got married, and they're like, wow, she like, just lived out her 20s and then got married in her 30s. Like, she was traumatized. And the fact that now she's like happy with kids, and then decided, because the New York, like, I don't think it's called the statute of limitations. Don't quote me on that. But the fact that ends in a year and she has to revisit the trauma. All of that to say, leave women and our uteruses and our situations alone. Yeah. So I don't know. What else has been going on in my life? I really have to delete the dating apps. I have to delete them. They're not good for my soul. The guy that I mentioned that is potentially a serial killer, we didn't meet on the app, but we met on an event that was being we met at an event that was hosted by an app. We met through Bumble. It was like an in real life event. A singles event. So that's kind of where we specifically met. But I don't know. It's just like the apps aren't doing it for me anymore. These men aren't healed. And we just keep being told as women that we have to settle with these like crazy men. I don't know. It's wild. But yeah, that was just like an introduction to me. Like I said, my life is wild, and I just want to take you guys along on the journey and start to kind of figure out this thing called life, and sometimes do it for the plot. Be sure to subscribe and listen. This podcast should be out on all platforms. And if you want to see a visual version, it's going to be on my YouTube channel. All of the links should be in the episode description. But I'm going to be dropping these every single Monday. So I'm excited for you guys to follow along with me on this journey, because it is a journey and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope I didn't bore you guys, but thanks for listening.